Hi, it's Mike from Lux. We're talking about corrugation and modulation and the structure of everything, because that's what Lux is about, the architecture of everything. Well, what are we made out of? We're made out of carbon. With Lux, you can show how carbon is put together. All I need is 3 little Lux blocks like this, and I snap them together like so and make a little triangular prism. These triangular prisms then, I could take 4 of them, which make 12 blocks, and I could take 1, 2, 3, and a top one on top, 4, and I make a little pyramid, and that pyramid we call a tetrahedron. Carbon is a tetrahedron. There was a scientist, about 100 years ago, who said that he thought that carbon was a tetrahedron because he was studying a chemical called benzene. But all his fellow scientists thought he was kooky because they didn't believe that molecules at that level really had shapes. They thought it was all about numbers and only really smart people could understand what happened at the really small level. But Van Hoff, this very smart scientist, said, no, I'm looking at things, all the numbers come out like 6s and 12s. I think that the structures are little hexagons. And I think the corners of those hexagons have to be little tetrahedrons, little 4-sided little guys like this. They said, you're crazy. He ended up getting the Nobel Prize because he was right. In fact, we're made out of carbon, and that carbon helps organize our genetic code, our DNA. The interesting thing about this little Lux tetrahedron is I can give it a companion. I snap 8 of these blue Luxes together, these little tri connections. Same thing, I take 3, connect it together into a prism. I take them and start connecting them together like so to make 4. And then I take 4 more and connect them together like so. They're really fun to connect together too. And I take those 2 guys like this and I connect them together to make a little, what I call a cubooctahedron. It's just an awesome shape. Look at that, it's so great. Now, when you connect these to these guys, you get an amazing thing that happens. If I surround one tetrahedron with 4 of these cubooctahedrons, I get different kinds of arrays. I can get an array that looks like this. I would call this graphite, one of the forms of carbon. Notice the beautiful hexagons here, okay? That's what graphite does. Graphite forms these beautiful molecules that are like cleaves, like slate or mica. These long plates, and they stack on top of each other, but they easily break away from each other. And that's why we make pencils with graphite inside, because the graphite peels away as you drag it across a piece of paper, and it just leaves itself on the residue on the paper, leaving all that residue of graphite. So graphite's a great molecule to put in our pencils, okay? But carbon organizes itself in just a slightly different way, a more condensed way, to make its cousin. Diamond. Diamonds are made out of the same thing as graphite. But what happened with diamond? Some kind of process squished that graphite down even tighter into this kind of configuration, which we call the diamond configuration. Even has little diamond shapes in it, little rhombic shapes. And you can see why even diamond sparkles, because the light goes perfectly through some aspects of the diamond, and as you rotate it, it stops going perfectly through, and then bam, the light comes through again, and then again. And that's what sparkle is. The light could go through some ways, and you rotate it, and it kind of refracts and turns into a little rainbow, and then light comes through again. So you get a shimmering aspect to diamonds. Because diamond is arrayed in such a way that it will let light come right through some ways and not other ways. So this is a diamond. 2 pure forms of carbon that Lux will let you build. That's an example of modularity. It's also an example of heavy corrugation because it's a very strong structure. So with Lux, you can show how the universe is put together in different ways. It's fun, and I encourage you to stick around because next we're going to talk about other ways to modulate space using Lux. Stay tuned. Mike from Lux.